going on? This is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and I am joined by my man Morten from SK Gaming, coming off an amazing season. Well, not off yet, but coming down the tail end of an amazing season. What's up, Morten? Welcome back to the channel, man.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I hope you as well. And
yeah,
thanks
dude.
for having me back.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on because honestly, I'm embarrassed to say that this season I have not had a pro on voice yet. Usually I try to make it like 50-50 content. So what better guy to get on the channel than you? We're going to be discussing this deck, which is your favorite kind of like new meta bait deck. And it's really the rise of the Mega Knight with all this witch going around. Also has the Dart Goblin and the Wall Breakers and Goblin Cage. So what, 4 Goblin cards in here. Tell us a little bit about why you like this deck so much, Morten.
Like honestly, Mega Knight is right now, I think, one of the best cards in the game. It's really good against Village, and I really like lockbait in general, as most of you know. And like with Princess Dart Goblin, you have a really good like lockbait. I think Dart Goblin is one of the underrated cards too, and it gets a lot of value against like every card you can snipe up troops in the other field, like on the other side. And then like it's like the old little Shen deck which you played like last season in the World Finals, but you put instead of like Royal Giant, you just put like Wall Breakers, because I think like Wall Breakers is one of the strongest card ever, and it's really good.
Strongest cards ever? Did I hear you right?
Yes, and it's like a really good bait card too. Most of the times they lock it, they snowball it, and then you can play like the Goblin Barrel. So I think it's synergized well with the other cards, and yeah, that's like.
Yeah, man, it's the Wall Breakers are everywhere, and as a matter of fact, this match is really fun to watch right now. I just watched you actually do it, so we had a replay while I asked you about the meta, because we'll focus mainly on this deck the rest of the video, and we'll watch Morten play it live, guys, on ladder, but I really wanted to get your opinion on all of these, you know, broken cards, or all these like controversial, really strong cards. Me personally, as a non-pro player, I really enjoy it, actually. I enjoy the meta. It seems fresh and kind of new, despite, you know, being carried by 3 cards specifically. So I wanted to get your take on Witch, Wall Breakers, and on Elixir Golem. Let's start with Elixir Golem. What do you think of the Elixir Golem?
So it's like a pretty new card. Like there wasn't a card before like him. I think it's like fresh, like you already said. It's interesting. You have to see like how it works, like if pros have played against it. It seems really strong, the card, but yeah, I really enjoy it. Let's see how the card is in competitive there. But I think the card is like interesting, but if it's too strong, I think Supercell's gonna nerf it.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they might nerf it in November, or we'll see though. You're not gonna be able to play it until the World Finals, correct?
Yes. So I hope it's gonna get a nerf before this World Finals, because I think like the use rate is already really high. So
you think like every deck will have it? And what type of deck do you? Well, it's to suit your play style. What type of deck would you be most interested? Guys, look at this Dart Goblin, by the way, on the gameplay right now. What do you MVP Dart Goblin right here? What type of deck would you play the Elixir Golem in?
So honestly, I didn't play with the card that much because it's not viable in CL right now, and I practice other decks. But I think like with Night Witch, with Witch, it's really strong. So I think like I don't think Psychic decks are viable with the card. So as much as I saw right now, but like I saw like a Sparky deck with double Witch. So I think people with the, like instead of the Giant, just the Elixir Golem looks really good today.
Yep. Yeah, we're seeing the Sparky and the double Witch, or definitely some Graveyard as well. So yeah, there's a few options for you out there.
Yeah.
And GG's with 1 second left finishes this off. And we only talked about one of the 3 cards. We can talk about Wall Breakers as you play. Why don't you go ahead and search for a match, and while you do, tell us a little bit about the Witch, man. Like, how do you feel about Witch?
So after I saw like the balance changes, I already thought, like, I'm in the game by the way.
Yep.
I already knew like the Witch is gonna be really strong, but I didn't expect her to be that strong. But like the damage is like actually absolutely insane. It's like you have a Musketeer with skeletons,
and in a little splash too. Yeah,
it's completely amazing. So I think like Witch is for sure maybe the best card in the game right now, and you can put it like in every deck. Like before you had Musketeer, now you can just put Witch in. So, but honestly, like in general, I really like the new meta. I'm like, I think one of the only pros who really like the new meta.
Well, that's good to hear, man.
Especially with the Wall Breakers, because I think like you can like outplay the opponent really hard, and like right now there are a lot of Psychic decks in the meta, like the Bomb Tower 2.4 Wall Breakers deck. It's like really good, or like other Mega Knight Wall Breakers decks. So I think like Wall Breakers is like a card you can outplay the opponent pretty hard or cycle him, and it's really hard like to get positive elixir trade out of him. That's so I like the meta, but I still think the Wall Breakers need a small nerf. Like most of the time, if you have a bad cycle and your opponent does like Wall Breakers first play at the bridge, and you can't get a positive elixir trade, it's already like you have a problem.
Yeah, definitely, and I want to talk a little bit about how Wall Breakers synergize in this bait deck too. But before I do, I just want to ask you the controversial question, which is: do you think that they need, as a CRL pro, do you think they need an emergency nerf before CRL World Finals? How do you feel about that?
I don't think I need an emergency nerf, but I think like a nerf like I don't think they're like the best card in the game right now. I feel like Witch is stronger than Wall Breakers.
Well, okay, so what about Witch?
Yeah.
Does she need emergency nerf, or are you okay with just wait until November after World Finals?
Honestly, I don't think she needs emergency nerf, but I can understand the people who say that she needs emergency nerf.
Yeah. And I should have said this at the beginning of the video while you're playing. Sorry for distracting you with it, but you are absolutely dominating in CRL this year. Your whole team, SK Gaming, is, but you and Javi, and it really, the whole team is a team effort, right? But I just wanted to ask you, you know, you've always been a great player. You've been around since the beginning of the game, but what do you attribute the dominance of SK Gaming and the dominance of yourself and just the whole team in general?
I think it's a lot of like the communication between us is really, really good. For us, it's not like if we practice, we all like, it's like already like normal that we practice. We're not asking each other like for practice. We just do it by ourselves. We don't have to make sure that the other guys practicing. Like it's like a lot of about communication, and we work as a team pretty good together. Like even if one of us has a bad day, we still know like everyone from us can like sweep the opponent, or like we help each other with decks. So I think the teamwork is really good with us, like between us.
Heck yeah, well played. What a deck that you were facing there too. The Mega Knight, the old Mega Knight Giant deck. But you weren't kidding about and your opponent with a lovely name. Blow that. All right, so go on to the next match here. We'll focus a little bit more on the actual, and keep up the good work. I'm sure a lot of my viewers are rooting for you guys in the as we come down the home stretch into the World Finals here. But yeah, so Wall Breakers, you think they're a little bit too strong. I agree with you, for too much value for 2 elixir, but I agree with you too that they don't need an emergency nerf. Personally, I know a lot of my viewers too are really happy with the Wall Breakers, really happy that they're viable and like the card.
Yes.
And speaking of Wall Breakers, right on cue, there they are. So talk a little bit about the deck, man. Talk a little bit about what you're trying to do here. Obviously, you have the Goblin Cage, which we don't really normally see in traditional bait. You got the Wall Breakers, which you don't see in a normal bait, and you have the Mega Knight. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard bait deck.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of about Zap and Lock bait. So at the start, I look which deck he's gonna play, if he has like other Mega Knight decks or something, and then like most of the times I start like with Goblin Barrel or with Princess. Okay, he plays Wall Breakers. Or with just Wall Breakers at the bridge, and then I see like he plays his Lock, and I cycle like Goblin Barrel, and at the start or like in a single elixir time, I most of the time just try to chip with Goblin Barrels or Wall Breakers. And then a double, like most of the time, the opponent starts to be more aggressive. Then I start like with maybe a Mega Knight in the back if I see like I can't break through. So that's pretty nice about the deck, that you have like a second win condition if you can't break through with your Goblin Barrel. And like I think you need Mega Knight against like Giant Witch or other Witch decks. So it's really hard to defend otherwise.
Yeah, how are you playing this deck differently than a traditional bait deck in terms of like the tempo, the cadence of your matches, or is it basically the same other than obviously a little bit of different cards?
It's similar, I would say.
Okay.
I play like, as I already said, like in the single league time I play more defensive, but in double league time you have like more, you have like more win conditions. In the other bait decks you just can cycle like Goblin Burst or maybe Rocket, and here you can do like double lane pressure most of the times. I try to do like double lane. One time I play like on the right lane, as example, I play like Mega Knight. On the other side I play like Goblin Barrel and the Wall Breakers. So it's that the opponent has to defend both sides.
Okay. Great. So now we're crossing over to double elixir time. So like you said, you can get a little bit more aggressive here.
Yes. So that's a really interesting deck. Looks like
Minor cycle with XC Inferno Dragon. Interesting. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay.
I think. Yes, Mega Knight is. Okay, I'm gonna start with Mega Knight in the back now. So I defend that. I can support that with Wall Breakers. Here's tomato.
Nice job applying a ton of pressure there, so we couldn't.
Yeah, but that's fine. So
Yep.
now I know his step is out, and I'm gonna go opposite lane again.
Okay. And this is the double lane pressure we're talking
Yes.
about here.
Yes. The thing is, he has 2 small spells.
This deck is pretty robust defensively, the one that you're facing here.
Yes.
Mega Knight takes care of that, though. Inferno Dragon will be down again, and let's see.
Yes.
Is that Ice Spirit? You go opposite lane. Zap comes down.
It's gonna jump. Oh no, it's not, but the wall breakers connect.
Alright, so just about even here.
Yes. Okay, but that's fine.
I gotta say, Goblin Cage really coming in handy against all these wall breakers.
Yes, so that's why like a lot of players play the Fisher with this deck, but I think like against like example a Balloon or against decks like wall breakers, I prefer the Goblin Cage to have like a safe defensive card.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go.
Survives. So it's really important to not give too much spell value to the opponent and always split like most of the time your wall breakers and your Goblin Barrel if you know he has block.
I feel like you got it. I feel like the momentum's shifting here. We'll see.
Oh, I thought this one fly, but the yes.
There we go, Dart Goblin and a connection on the left. And here he goes to the big push here. And,
Yeah.
by big, I mean little. All right, 35 HP, but no spells in this deck, I guess,
Yeah.
aside than the Goblin Barrel itself. So,
Yes. That's like the only problem.
and this guy seems to be too good of a player to just sneak in a princess at the bridge, so it's going to be
Yes.
defensive still, yeah. Why don't people play bait? What do you think the state of bait is, and why don't people play it, in your estimation, in CRL? There we go!
So
GG's, man. That was a good
I
match.
played the last 2 games a bait deck. One I played like bait kind of classic but with rich, and last time and then the game before against Boofmac I played like RG bait.
Okay.
So for me personally, I feel bait is like one of the best days ever. I
Oh,
think since 1 year or for 1 year.
Yeah.
So I think bait is like one of the best decks right now, honestly.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I actually saw somebody in yesterday's video comments. You know who you are. Actually say the same thing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask Morten when I have him on. So you think the state of bait, especially with a deck like this built to counter the meta, is actually
Yes.
better than ever?
Yeah, I think bait is really, really good. Like you have Mega Knight. I don't think Mega Knight is like that big of a counter against bait because you have like Goblin Cage and sometimes you have Rascal, so it's really, really good to defend. And like Witch is not really annoying because sometimes you have Rocket. And like I think even with Wall Break, it's like Wall Break is such a good combination. So I think bait is like really, really, really good.
All right, we'll hop into another one, man.
Yeah.
Good. GG's. I'm writing that down right now. Bait is better than ever. Clickbait title.
Sure.
I'm just joking. It's not clickbait because he said it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So here we go. Next match against Goat. Hey, speaking of goats, was there a bait player that you watched to kind of, turn you on to the archetype or model your gameplay after? Like, are you a big Adam fan back in the day, or was there any player?
Yeah, sure. Adam was really, really good. Like when he got his #1 finish. But like I enjoyed like honestly like watching bait like from every player. Like even now if I see like other bait like Kid was really, really high.
Yeah, yeah.
And like even him I watched a lot, so did I just improve in general.
Yeah, I like that. I had him on the channel recently as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you look at a guy like Kid or Jason or whatever, any of these ladder guys who play bait, do you look at those guys and say, okay, they do, like, what are you looking for as a pro when you watch other good players play? Like things that you would have done differently?
So like most of the times like when I see like when they're gonna go aggressive with Night Goblin Gang, or when they're starting rocket cycling, like that's like most of the time, or when they play the princess and where they play like with bait is like you do a lot of decisions. It's not like with golem. Play like 3 golems in the game. Like with bait is like I would say I have like 20 different moves than like Kid does, but it doesn't mean that I'm the better player than Kid, so you still can learn a lot.
It's a lot.
Maybe
with
I do
play
that
style.
better, or he does like maybe I do like this better and he does this better. So That's the thing.
Dude, I can't count the number of times that Goblin Cage has saved you in these matches, man.
Yes.
You're making me a believer that Goblin Cage is the correct answer here in these defensively. And the power. Go ahead.
I still think that Goblin Cage is one of the best defensive cards.
Yeah. Do you have like a car, like a favorite card, or yeah, maybe not your favorite, but is there one card that you're like, even if it's not typically seen in archetypes, that you're like, I just love including that in my deck because I think it's so good or so strong or whatever?
I think Dart Goblin right now. I think Dart Goblin is like one of my favorite cards for me.
Okay.
Like, I really like it in lock bait decks, but like even Graveyard or something, you just bait a lock out of it, and if the deck has Bubble, it's like you can get a lot of value out of them.
Yeah.
So I think Dart Goblin is one of the underrated cards in my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of my viewers probably agree with you there. Dart Goblin is always one of the most well-liked cards here on my channel.
Yeah.
So here we go. So far this match, you made it look pretty easy.
Yes. It's like so hard for him to keep up with the pressure.
Yeah.
Because they always have to overcommit. If you have not a fast, like if you have an expensive deck, you always have to overcommit against wall breakers. And that's like...
Yep. So when do you decide to, like, say, aside from the super obvious, like if they have log in hand, like, or whatever, or a great response in hand, when do you decide whether to go in with a Dart Goblin or it looks like Dart Goblin you're using primarily just as a defensive weapon first, and then getting the counterattack. But when do you decide to go with a Goblin Barrel versus a wall breakers, I guess? Let's deal with this first, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
it's at the tower. I didn't see. Okay.
No!
GG.
Dude, I cursed you. I cursed you! And then I asked you, my bad. That was my bad on that one. I'll take the L for you on that one.
No problem.
Give Goat the free win.
Yeah.
But feel free to answer my question now that I screwed y'all up. Here, I'll go into a match. You wanna coach me for one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. I'm searching. Now you can speak more to wall breakers and where they fit in this deck.
So, like, most of the times, like, I expect what he's gonna play against my troops and offense. So, like, I play the wall breakers at the bridge, and then, like, I feel like he's gonna snowball it, so I go opposite lane, like, most of the times, like, with bats or goblin bells. So it's, like, more about, like, predicting which spells or, like, which cards he's gonna play against my troops. So if I know he has, like, Mega Knight and Cycle, and I know he has nothing else to defend my wall breakers, I already go hard on the other lane with, like, Goblin Gang and Goblin Barrel, because I expect him to defend, like, my wall breakers with, like, 7 elixir.
Gotcha.
So it's most of the time, like, about knowing what he has in Cycle against my cards.
Boom. All right, cool. Are you watching right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I have so many questions already from this match. One of them is Princess and Goblin Barrel starting hand. You would go Goblin Barrel, right? Did
Yes,
I make the right
I would go Goblin Barrel. And then, like, then you can play the Prince, or, like, even wall breakers at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So now there's kind of a, so I have Bats, Mega Knight, Goblin Cage, and Goblin Gang. Would you split Gang in the back or go left lane?
Oh, yeah. I would just go to bridge, left side.
Okay, cool.
Because there's no Zap and Cycle, so... Okay, here's the play Furnace, it's okay.
Yep. So here's kind of I could snipe with Dart Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can do it.
Cool.
I think you have to play to the left side. So, okay, just Cage or Mega Knight. And the thing is, like, Cage is, like, I really like Cage 2 in the offense, because most of the time you play, like, against the Hogwarts, the Cage, and then you still have the Goblin Barrel, and you can support with the Goblin Barrel. It's, like, a really, really strong combination.
Nice. Princess gonna get this on lockdown here.
Does he hit? Does she hit?
Oh, my bad.
Okay. That's fine.
So I have Cage back in cycle. That's good.
Yes.
So should I Cage or try to switch it up with a Mega Knight here?
You can still Cage that.
Okay. Okay, so he zaps. That's kind of good.
Yes. Yeah. Whoa, interesting. Good.
Okay, didn't see that coming, but whatever. So he has zap out of cycle. I'm gonna apply pressure opposite lane here.
Yes.
Oh, he had that in cycle. That's no good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna play a super high cage, and then I might Mega Knight if I need to.
Yes. That's fine. And the Dart Goblin is... Ooh. Ooh, now he has a problem. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. He has a problem, all
And
right.
that's
Get it! Boom! Mega Knight. There we go. GG's. I really love... Man, I love the feel of this deck. I'm not a bait player by any stretch of the imagination, but that was pretty fun to play. What do you say? One more, Morten?
Sure.
All right. Should you do it or you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Dude, you can do it. I love it. Does it bother you? I mentioned this in my last video too. I'm sorry for complaining all the time, guys. You know, I mean it in good fun. But the trophies, how they take so long to add to your total. Does that bother you? Or is it...
Yes, it does.
Every time I'm like, wait a second, I just won Supercell. Give me my trophies.
Yes, like, honestly, like when I pushed like ladder last season at the end, I was like, okay, I won, and then I'm, wow, what's happening?
What's going on here? Come on. I don't know why they did that. Anyway, I'm not sure if it was a mistake or if it was intentional. But we have Dart Goblin. Okay. I guess just Mega Knight, huh?
Yes. The Hawk.
So here, okay.
Ooh, Wizard.
That's cool with me.
Oh.
Ah, man. But it's okay. He has to use a lot of elixir there.
Yes. You can just bats it if you have it.
Oh. Can you just counter with bats, really?
Yes.
So I wasted my Goblin Cage for nothing. But
he still has to defend it, so it's fine. And that's like the difference between like Tesla or even Bomb Tower and Fan Tower, that he still has to defend the cage always. So that's fine. The Princess gets some
damage. Yep. So you're probably gonna come in with a hog again. Nope.
Maybe. No.
Cool. So like here I'm at 6 elixir right now. Would you recommend that I play aggressive Goblin Barrels before 10 elixir?
If you know like he has nothing in cycle or he's low on elixir, I always do like Goblin Barrel at 3 elixir or like Wall Breakers at 2. Like Wall Breakers you can play like whenever you have enough elixir, because most of the times the opponent has to spend like at least even elixir for them. So even if you play the Wall Breakers at 2 elixir, you won't get a disadvantage.
Got you. So I guess I'm just gonna go in here.
Yes, that's good. So he has to spend 3 and they connect both.
Dude.
So now you have elixir advantage and damage advantage.
I don't have my... Okay, cool. So here I have Goblin Barrel and Mega Knight and Princess in hand. Would you Goblin Barrel?
Yeah, just Goblin Barrel.
Okay. And he's going to be forced to Valkyrie again, I guess. No Musketeer. Okay.
So he always overspends, like, because he has nothing really against Wall Breakers and Goblin Barrel. Like, most of the time they have something against Wall Breakers, then you have, like, Dart Goblin or Bats, or you have so much bait in this deck. And like even bats, I think bats are one of the best cards.
This is the most annoying deck ever. I love it. For my
like
opponent.
Bats, yes, bats like really good against Witch too, because the splash damage got reduced. So yeah.
Okay, so I'd give him a little damage there, but I think I'm still feeling pretty good about this.
Survive. That's good. Good split damage.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh!
No, Dart Goblin snipes the...
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Like a lot of player like in like lower trophy ranges like underestimating the Dart Goblin. They think like okay, fine, but then still like there's like 1k damage on the tower. Ooh, like now he overcommits on the right side because he doesn't want to get damage.
Yep.
And now you get damage on the left.
He's gonna go in hard. He has this annoying wizard, but I have my Goblin Cage back in hand.
Yes.
Nice.
Come on. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Fine.
There we go. There we go. I can sneak in a princess. Oh, no, no. I didn't think that was my bad.
Oh, but I think, yeah, he still has to play with elixir.
Yeah.
So I think you can Mega Knight it. And then like Wall Breakers and then Goblin Barrel, he has no locks, so it's fine. And normally you should have won that. No. GG's.
Boom! Man, this is a fun deck! Alright. Listen, Morten, thank you so much for coming back on the channel, giving all your advice on the meta and giving your take on the game right now and sharing the deck. Really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's
no problem. Good luck in the finals, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. Give Morten a follow. I'll have all his social media, all his, you're still going to be streaming and stuff, especially during the off season a lot more?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so all that stuff is Twitch link and everything like that will be in the description below, along with his stats. Thanks to statsroyale.com, guys. Check out those links in the description, and a huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Thank you for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. And as always, take care, guys.